AvePoint Policies for Microsoft 365 allows you to set up rule-based monitoring for SharePoint Online, OneDrive, and Microsoft Teams and Groups. If something occurs outside of your policies, you can view those incidents directly on the Policies dashboard. To get to the dashboard, log in to AvePoint Online Services, and then on the home page, locate and click on Policies for Microsoft 365. In Policies, under Policy Violations, you will see a separate section for Groups, Teams, SharePoint Online, and OneDrive. If one of the scopes is protected and showing no violations, you'll see the green circle with the check. If one of those scopes has no protection, i.e. you have not created any policies, you will see the red circle with the X. If policies are in place and violations have occurred, you'll see the little yellow warning sign. So we can see here that I've got some issues with SharePoint Online and with OneDrive. Let's take a look first at what's going on with SharePoint. To do that, I'm going to click the link right within this section. On the Policy Violation Details page, you can see that we've got a list of the rules that have triggered a violation, the specific object where the violation occurs, which data collection triggered that, and whether or not it was auto-fixed. In this case, we're seeing primarily list library object number restriction rules were broken, as well as site collection administrator number rules were broken. The filter option up at the top left allows you to dictate what you're seeing. Since I came in under SharePoint Online, it's only showing me SharePoint Online, but I could view all of them at the same time if I chose to. We can also change the statuses that we're viewing. As a default, it's set to all. Now when I'm reviewing these, the number one thing I'm looking for is what rule triggered the violation. That is, someone did something in SharePoint Online against my policy rule, and what reaction the system had. In this case, with AutoFix, you'll notice these are all set to off. The reason for that is these particular rules that I've got in place do not allow for an AutoFix. It really comes down to the individual rule. To see that in more detail, locate one of these violations and click on it. We can see here, again, the name of the rule. We can see the location. And we can see the details. In this case, the rule is set to 11 objects or lower, but we're actually coming up with 59 in that scope. Now, again, you'll notice AutoFix is set to off, and the status is set to no need to fix. To view the rule and see why that is set up that way, we can go over into Policy Management. Under Policy Management, this is my SharePoint policy that I have in place. And if we click on it, we can view some of the information about that policy. Here are the two rules that are in place. In order to see the configuration for these rules, you have to edit this policy. To do that, up at the top right, click our Edit button. And now if I scroll down, here are my two rules. If I click Configure Rule, we can see the available options. You'll notice AutoFix is not in place. Now, if you're not even sure what AutoFix means, essentially what it means is that policies can communicate with Microsoft 365 and undo or revert whatever it was that user did. For some rules, that makes total sense. For instance, if you have a rule that dictates how a particular setting in a SharePoint site works, and a user changes that, well, you just change the rule back to the setting the way that you wanted it. In a case of something like Site Collection Administrator number or list and library object number restrictions, we don't want to automatically say, quote unquote, fix that, because what does that actually mean? In this example, if I've got the rule set to one administrator, but there happens to be multiple administrators, which administrators should it remove? Policies doesn't know. So what Policies is doing here is it's letting you know that someone violated the policy, so that way you can go and follow up. The same holds true for this other rule. if I have it set up for less than 11 objects, you'll remember the violation we looked at showed 59. Which of those objects should it remove? Should it delete? It doesn't know. So it's notifying me by showing me back out on the dashboard that there have been issues, and now I can chase those issues. I can follow up with those users who are doing things that are violating my policy. There will be, though, of course, certain rules that can auto-fix. Under OneDrive, I'm seeing that there's one violation, so I'm going to click on that. And here we can see content creation and upload restrictions. In someone's OneDrive, they did something. If we hover over the object, we can see in the pop-up that they uploaded a zip file. And we can see that it was auto-fixed. Now what that translates into is someone tried to upload a blocked file, and the system removed that file. To see the settings, again, I go back to Policy Management. We go into our OneDrive policy. We click Edit. And for my content creation and upload restrictions, I click Configure. And here we can see maximum upload size, and we are restricting zips and RARs. So the user uploaded a zip file, policies noticed that, and below that, if violations are identified, delete the out-of-policy content to the recycle bin. In this situation, I'm okay with policies being able to take an action because this makes total sense. User uploaded a file of a type we don't want, remove the file. Now by putting it in the recycle bin, of course the user may find it there, but if they restore it, well then policies will again delete it, and again it will trigger another violation, prompting me to be able to go and follow up with that user to remind them that they're not supposed to be uploading zip files. So we can see that the policies dashboard provides us with a lot of information, not only about where we are protecting Microsoft 365, but also when users perform actions that violate our policies and our rules. Thank you for watching this short video on reviewing policy violations in AvePoint policies.